Normally I would praise indie games for being the better person in this crappy mainstream world, but my opinion has swayed to the middle, where rainbow-coloured unicorns with machetes are the next step ahead. I would have thought Bloodborne broke the Souls chain due to them doing the correct thing of saying, we have made a good game with a good sequel, so let's think of a new concept and do the same with that. And it works. I'm always drawn to massive games that just throw you into them without any explanation, and it's up to you to explore and piece your own story together. This allows for unique gameplay alongside completely different stories and experiences for these games, which is good. Titan Souls seem to do the opposite by throwing you into a world you know nothing about, and you never will. I can make assumptions, game, but at least give me something to work off of. I'm not saying that a game needs plot, but some context clues to where I am and what I am doing would be nice. I have a feeling that this is going to be the first in the new genre of games where the developers confuse being ominous with not telling the player anything at all. My gripe with this is being confusing as fuck doesn't mean good game design. Hell, most games that copy Temple Run give you something to work off of, and are fun nevertheless. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I don't have an idea of what's going on. In Titan Souls, you're a boy that kills monsters with a bow and one arrow to collect souls to open doors to rinse and repeat. Guess how I came to that conclusion? By saying the word Titan Souls and looking at the game's wallpaper. The game works off of a one-hit death mechanic that I found to be the worst thing you could do in this game. Why? Is it too challenging for you? No, it's too bullshit for me. They try to confuse you to think that the game is fair by giving the enemies the same risk, but that's only after you've knocked out its defense that can take between 2 to 5 hits. I don't think that's fair. Want more proof that this game is incredibly hard? It tries to make you feel that you're to blame for your deaths by giving you a raw button. What's so bad about this? You fire across the sides of each room as much as you want until the invisible energy bar tells you enough is enough, and for an unspecific amount of time you're possibly screwed. Let me assess the situation and not saying, fuck you, and then hitting me with the largest object in the room and expecting me to have reaction time the current world record holder for Cookie Clicker. One boss is ingrained into my mind permanently. Due to this review, I sat down and told myself, okay, let's get past the first hour of the game, so I have enough to talk about. What happened? The tutorial area has 2 bosses and a mega boss. The 2 bosses are easy enough to do with a few deaths towards each of them, which I dubbed as fair due to me having quite a lot of fun with them. However, the 3rd boss will have you shoving your controller right up your arsehole just to compensate. The way each boss starts is that you have to hit them to activate them. They will attack you straight away, but you're given enough time to expect this and begin a series of constant dodging. The game's main focus is on the timing of your attacks, which is a good concept. After getting into a rhythm that is good enough, you will stop and fire your arrow as fast as you can at the boss's weak point. The 3rd boss has you doing this and then completely throwing that logic out the window. The boss, from here onwards, has a new ability called being frickin' psychic. They will telegraph your attacks and predict a move that you didn't even know you would do yet, causing a massive fist to meet your face. Hang on. Just... Sorry, I need to start to calm down. Okay. Right, so the game's attack mechanic is a bow and 1 arrow. You will charge up the arrow and aim it at the boss before realizing the game doesn't like you taking your time and smacks you for it. The arrow has a magnet mechanic which works pretty well for the first boss, I thought, but then I found it to be one of the worst parts about the game. You will fire your arrow and then try to get it back, only to find out you don't have enough time to do this, so you'll run across the room and try again, only to realize it's further away. Probably the most crushing part about this game is what happens after you defeat a boss. You will have to rip your arrow you fired at the boss, which seems pretty cool, but then the screen goes grey after several of what I assume to be souls fly into your character and then they are dumped onto the ground with nothing changed whatsoever. It sort of drains you for a while knowing that you're not making a difference to anything at all. I don't know what the ending is, and to be honest, I don't care. The game's pissed me off so much that I stopped playing after the first probable area. And I'm not convinced I want to return to what I know as hell. Can't wait to see what they pump out after Bloodborne 2. I say sarcastically as I can hear the words Titanborn being mentioned with my gun already pointed at the developer's head.